I'm always late. I'm never on time, but I'm feeling great. I think I've been down that road before. Opportunities never at my door. I sing them blues to get my way. I won't pay attention to a thing you say. I got my money, I got my wine. One shot short of a good old time. I'm one shot away.
I'm Daniel Hunt with Vines, Barrels, and Kegs. Today we're in Louisville, Kentucky, home of the Kentucky Derby at Churchill Downs, bourbon capital of the world. Today we're going to visit three special places: Old 502 Winery, Bluegrass Brewing Company, and we're going to take you down to Loretto, Kentucky for Maker's Mark. So let's go do it. We're back here at the Old 502 Winery. We're actually in the winery part. What do you call this area here?
The winery.
The winery.
This is the actual winery.
The urban winery.
The urban
winery, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so give us a little walkthrough about what you got going on here.
Okay.
Some of these vats.
Yeah. Well, the process starts with a grape, obviously.
Yes.
The grapes we crush and press to separate the juice from the seeds.
How do you do that?
We use no, we don't stomp.
Okay.
That's not so popular anymore.
I wonder why.
Well, we use a little device, or a big device, called a crusher destemmer, which is actually a destemmer crusher, because it takes the stems off the grapes first, then we crush the grapes just by breaking the skin.
Okay.
The grape then goes into a press, where we separate the juice from the skins and the pulp. We have a tank behind us over here. It's called a red wine tank, where the manway for the tank is at the bottom, and the bottom of the tank is slanted, therefore now allowing us to pull skins and seeds and so forth out of a red wine.
Okay.
With a rake or whatever we need to do to pull it out. We use a tank such as this up here. You can't get that must out of the bottom. White wines are faster to make than red wines. Red wines in general, we like to age them longer.
Give it that better taste. All right, we're back with Logan over here in the wine tasting room in the gift shop. And so what are we doing here?
Okay, we're going to do a little tasting with you guys.
Okay.
We're going to start out with a wine we call White Noise, which is a great little wine that's blended slightly, but mostly based on a grape called Vidal Blanc, which is the most prolific grape grown in Kentucky. This is 100% Kentucky fruit, and Kentucky made, yeah, from start to finish, from the grape to the bottle. It's a nice little white wine. We'll let you guys see what you think here.
Okay. Where the taste we're supposed to be.
Okay. Well, first thing you want to do is kind of stick your nose down in the glass roll. I'll give it a little swirl, kind of release some of those flavors. Okay. Then we want to get our nose right in there. Take a nice big whiff. Should be big enough. Maybe a little mango, some tropical notes there. And
some mango.
And a little bit of green apple. White noise it is.
It's going to bring me some white noise.
Yeah,
I can tell you that right now. That's going to bring some noise.
Awesome.
Awesome.
It isn't about the Republican Party. It isn't about the Democratic Party. It's about the cocktail party. It's time to mix things up with Maker's Mark, because it is what it isn't.
We're having dessert now. We have an addition. We have Eric. Eric works here at Old 502. Tell us a little bit about what you got going on, what you do around here.
Well, I'm the community outreach coordinator, so I'm involved in Just trying to spread the good word of Old 502, talking to our neighbors here downtown and outside in the state, and I help out with production, helping out with bottling and some of the winemaking, whatever Logan lets me get my hands into.
As he lets you progress. So what we got here?
So we're always good to show up when there's free wine.
Yes.
So he made it just in time for dessert. We're going to do the aftershock, or after choc, I guess would be a better way to put it. This is actually a chocolate infused wine that we put in a miniature bottle. Kind of done in a dessert style, so we do it sort of a dessert style bottle. It's a 375 milliliters, so it's half the size of a normal bottle of wine.
So it's like a half bottle.
What you would call a split,
yes.
Or a half bottle. It's not higher alcohol, however. It's still below 14% alcohol, so it's not by definition dessert wine. But it's a Chamberson-based wine, a little bit of Cabernet Sauvignon or blended in with it, and then a chocolate infusion. So it's kind of nice with a dessert pairing, or as its own dessert, actually. So anyway, we'll let you guys finish out our tasting with this little jewel.
Yum.
And
chocolate and wine.
Chocolate and wine. You don't even have to add the chocolate.
No. Where's the M&Ms?
It's a week before the holiday. We might as well try something new.
Okay. That's smooth. I like that.
Very smooth.
Very nice.
That's very smooth.
Very good.
Nice berries.
Yeah?
Good dry. Like it.
It is dry. Where are we, man?
BBC.
BBC Bluegrass Brewing Company in Louisville, Kentucky. We're making pumpkin ale today with brewmaster Andrew Demring. I gotta go.
We still have another bag of adjunct, right? Other adjunct, oh, 260? Yeah. That was your adjunct. Yep. Got it? Yeah. Once we had a spice addition, man, boil it for long. Wait, we're gonna spice it oil? Yep.
It isn't about being the latest pretty face. It isn't about being on somebody's A-list. It isn't about what or who you look like. It's about who you are. And while the fashionistas may not think much of Maker's Mark, the folks who enjoy our handcrafted bourbon, straight or mixed with their favorite beverage, tell us it was love at first taste. Like our founder said, a good whiskey is what it isn't.
We're back. Took a little break. It's been cooking. Tell us what we got to go on.
It's been boiling for about an hour and a half. We've added our hops and our little secret spices in there. So now what we're going to do is we're going to cool this down from about 210 degrees to 68 degrees. And just let it, put some yeast in there and let it sit in there for about 2 weeks.
What we have here?
Yeah, this is exactly what's in this kettle over here. This is called wort. It's the hops and the spices that we use without any yeast. So this is all just like grain water. Called wort, and that's what's going in the tank right now with a little bit of yeast.
Do people drink that?
Actually, yeah, not particularly this one. It's a little bit hoppy, but it's called Vita Malt in some Caribbean nations and also overseas. It's been rumored that if you drink a little bit of wort after being hungover, it'll cure your hangover.
Really? Is this a higher alcohol content?
There's actually no alcohol in this yet at all.
Okay, so
it's all
just
sugar.
giving you sugars.
Yep, and then the
Cure the
yeast
hangover.
turns into alcohol.
Now I know what I got to drink. Check this out. I actually like it. It's not,
It's not too bad.
no, it's not.
Especially
I
like
would drink that. It actually tastes like a tea.
yeah, that's perfect.
Green tea.
What we made was hop or grain tea.
Green tea. Nice, I got it right. Now we've seen how they make the pumpkin ale. Andrew?
Okay,
Let's see what this tastes like.
So today what we have here for you guys, we have a little pairing. We have the pumpkin beer that you're here with, paired nicely with the fried green tomatoes. And then we also have our barley wine paired very nicely with our spinach artichoke dip.
Nice. Well, which one are we going with first?
Well, since we did the pumpkin beer, we brewed that, let's go ahead and start with this guy first.
All right. Pumpkin beer, pumpkin ale. What are we expecting here?
Well, first off in the nose, you're going to notice that spiciness from all the spices that we added there. A little bit clove, cinnamon, just typical spices that you add in the pumpkin beer. A little bit of that pumpkin flavor too will kind of come out as well. But finishes nice, sweet, and malty. So yeah, cheers.
Cheers.
And then we have our nice little sauce right there. It's a roasted red pepper aioli.
Some other people think about the BBC beers.
Man, this beer is awesome.
I believe in
Look
responsibility.
at this guy. Responsibility drinking. He's not driving. Now that was some really good beer here at the Bluegrass Brewing Company. Now we're gonna hit up Maker's Mark.
Somebody said Maker's Mark.
This guy. We're here today in the bourbon capital of the world, the middle of the state of Kentucky, at a little place called Maker's Mark.
So what we have before us is the Maker's Mark formula. 7% corn, 16% soft red winter wheat, and 14% malted barley. Now one of the things, we just came from the grain cleaner, so we were able to see, making sure that we removed everything except for the corn. Because that's all we want. We just want the grain itself going into the cooker.
And they bring everything on the truck.
Yes, bring everything on the
off. You get all that sticks and everything else.
Well, see, we have a grading factor, and if it's very dirty, then we reject it. Okay? We have our specifications that they have to follow. If it exceeds those specifications, then we reject the truck. Alright, so here's what we're going to do. We're sitting here in front of our fermenter. Now, remember, when we go to cook our grains, Maker's Mark are a little different in terms of how long it takes us to cook, the temperatures that we use to cook, and then one mash cook equals one fermenter. Okay? We don't have big, huge, giant fermenters around here. That's why, thanks to you guys, we run 7 days a week, 24 hours a day.
That's what we're trying to help you out with.
Keep people coming.
Keep people coming here and drinking.
So, but what you see here before you is a fermenter. This one's a little over 24 hours of age. So it's going to spend 3 days total in here. So it's done its first, it's to its first day. You can see it bubbling up. And what you're seeing is actually
there.
Exactly.
How it's coming out.
These two fingers. Come. It'll be sweet.
It'll be sweet. Tastes like Maker's Mark.
Not quite. We're getting there. This is what makes Maker's Mark so unique, is because our whole flavor profile is about being poured on the palate. And you can't start in the back and work your way forward. Now, everything that we have to do along the way has got to be that pour part. And then when you smell, what it smells like is it actually smells like a bright bowl of bananas and apples. Yes, it does. And that's our Maker's Mark yeast strain. When you give it that soft red winter wheat, you drive it in that direction. Okay? And the art of distillation is being able to capture all of those flavors.
So what we got here?
Flavor begins with one of the most microscopic things possible known to man. Personally, I like to give yeast credit for making civilization what it is today.
This is interesting here.
So what we're going to do is we're actually going to taste the Maker's Mark yeast.
Okay.
taste it. Don't cheat any of your taste buds now. That's something you're going to learn something about Maker's Mark. We don't want you to cheat any taste buds.
All the way back.
Yep. Tell me what you think.
Are you ready for this?
What does that remind you of?
Beer.
Exactly.
It's like a wheat beer.
There you go.
Maker's Mark beer. You should start doing that. That is awesome. That is fantastic.
We do every single day. This is part of where we grow our yeast from our mother strain.
Okay.
Every day. Now, of course, this doesn't go into every batch, but we keep it aside. Mary Ellen does a great job of keeping this set aside for us, just for sampling purposes.
Okay.
But every single day we make our own yeast. We propagate it, we grow it up, then we transfer it down to the tanks below us. We get even more billions and billions of cells in there.
Okay.
And then you kind of look at it like this. You're a chef just preparing a meal for a couple of billion customers.
That's what you're doing.
I mean, what more could you ask?
Hey. I'm gonna trust you.
All right, I've never leave you with a bad taste in your mouth.
All right, I trust you.
All right,
Let's do this.
so here we go.
Okay.
Now, we talk about distillation. What we see behind me is this is the bourbon column still.
Okay.
The actual alcohol flow coming off the still is right there.
That's what's coming down.
That's what's coming out.
That's clear alcohol.
Not quite white dog at this point.
I see where we're going right here.
Oh yeah. Now, here's where I want it, just to kind of put it in general terms. When we talk about distillation,
Okay.
and continuous column, meaning you always have beer keep coming out, alcohol always coming out, your other diaries going out the bottom. This alcohol coming out the top goes down into a doubler, just gently redistilled to our finished product, which we eventually refer to as a white dog. Now what you have to do, in other words, that's the side of beef sitting over there.
Yeah.
So the beer still is like a big old meat cleaver. It's going to give you that whole ribeye. It's going to give you the whole ribeye. But it's still got a lot of fat on it. The doubler is what's going to trim off that fat. It's going to give you that nice, big, beautiful...
Just bring it on the plate.
Exactly.
Ready. So, with that concept in mind,
Okay? We're going to taste straight off the beer still first.
let's taste this off the beer still.
Then we're going to taste the finished white dog next.
All right, let's do it.
Two finger method again, okay? Remember, these two fingers. You're not going to get anything with these two fingers. If you can mix it, that's right. Now, what I want you to do, you're going to dip in, put it on your tongue, work it around, chew on it a little bit. Okay. After you swallow, I want you to do a nice, long, soft, smooth exhale. Okay? Okay. Here we go. Now this is the uncut now. Uncut. Nice, long, soft, smooth exhale. Notice where you feel it on your palate.
Oh yeah.
Where do you
In the front.
Yeah. Where
Right
else
there.
do you feel it?
Inside of my mouth.
Feel it on the roof of your mouth too.
On the roof of my mouth.
Everything
But
is
not deep in the back.
exactly. Feel like everything's just real coating.
Yep.
It's real heavy. It's almost oily. Like right now, you're probably going starting to get this oily character.
Yeah. Tastes like an olive oil coating your mouth.
Exactly. This is the first cut off the beer still. Remember when I was making the comparison? Hey, it gives you the whole ribeye.
Yep.
But it doesn't trim the fat yet.
Not trimming the fat.
Now we're about ready to trim
Now we're
the
gonna
fat.
trim the fat. Nice.
I'm gonna slide. Now, we affectionately refer to this as the white dog. Now, you don't have to, that's right. We treat our dogs very well. They will not jump up and bite you.
Now,
Remember the same two-finger technique.
two finger, exhale after.
Then we'll go a step further after this. Notice the difference?
Oh yeah.
Feels how much cleaner.
Cleaner.
Remember what we were
Softer
smelling?
on my tongue than that was.
Exactly.
It's not like not getting the oily taste either.
Exactly.
Smooth. Come on. Come down.
Well, my job's done. I'm finished. I'm out of here. He's got it. Let's have some fun.
Okay. I'll leave. Watch that.
I know it.
gets a smile on his face. Are we ready for this? I was born for this.
You don't want to take a big giant shot of that, but make sure you do that long, soft, smooth exhale afterwards on this. The longer, the smoother the exhale, the better.
Okay. Yes. Yeah. Let me guess.
Go ahead.
160.
No.
No.
You're way high.
Way up. 100?
Well, you gotta come up a little higher than that.
120.
That's the first fruit that we tasted.
Okay.
130.
130. You had to bring it down.
We distill at one of the lowest fruits in the industry.
Okay.
That's what gives you that full body, full flavor.
Now that, I can still feel that all the way down.
Oh yeah, when you take that much in, yeah. It'll warm you up.
Oh yeah, it's warm. Ladies and gentlemen, that's good stuff. So tell us, Greg, about the difference between what people know as Maker's 46 and Maker's Mark. What are the difference between these two?
Just look at it like this. Maker's 46 is almost like Maker's Mark on steroids. It's just a bigger, bolder expression of what is Maker's Mark.
Okay.
Now, what makes it so unique is the fact that, you know, we only do one thing here at Maker's. We only have one formula.
Make Maker's.
That's exactly right. We're only going to distill it one way. We're only going to mature it one way. But we're going to finish it one way different.
So that's the difference. Okay.
It's a finishing technique. So what we would do is we take these fully matured Maker's Mark barrels that are down here on this bottom floor. We're going to roll them out. We're going to empty that bourbon out of that barrel. We're going to put it in a tank. Then we're going to remove the head hoop, the quarter hoop, and the bilge hoop. We're going to move those off, pop this head out, and we're going to insert these 10 seared French oak staves that you see here. And when I say sear, they're not charred.
No.
I don't have any char on my hands.
No.
And if you notice, they're kind of the thin wafer board. And if you look at that, it almost looks like there's a perfect color all throughout. So imagine, if you will, we're going to take 18-month-old French oak staves. Okay. Not American oak, but French oak staves.
So you're getting a different flavor.
Exactly. And imagine a guy sticking these things in a pizza oven, and you're using radiant heat, not direct flame, but you're using radiant heat to what sear, or in other words, caramelize all those wood sugars. Except for we're going to take this a step further, and we're going to sear it all the way through the wood. But what we're doing is we're caramelizing. It's kind of like taking an onion and caramelizing your onion.
Yeah.
I can't stand
all
raw
the flavors
onion.
inside.
Exactly. Yeah. I can't stand a raw onion. In fact, it makes it's gross. But when you caramelize that thing, you eat it all day long. Yes. Exactly. And that's what we've done here with these staves. Nobody wants to take a raw piece of bark and chew on it and start eating it. But boy, if you caramelize those wood sugars, you can just sit there and just chew on it. So anyway, after we insert these 10 seared French oak staves in here, just like you see, looks just like a rib cage in here, we put that same fully matured Maker's Mark bourbon, came out of these barrels, we put them right back into these barrels.
Okay. We
seal it back up, we age it for another 8 to 11 weeks. We put them right here on these bottom floors of the warehouse. Now here's the kicker. You only do it during the winter.
Only do it during the winter.
Because during the summer, that reaction happens too fast.
You can't do that.
And we can't do it.
You'll ruin the bourbon.
That's exactly right.
So only in the winter can you make Maker's 46.
Exactly. That's the main process behind this, is doing it during the winter when it's cold and slow, and it just seems to just pull out the right amount of flavors out of that wood, so that it gives you that bigger, bolder expression with that long, lingering, creamy caramel mouthfeel.
In the front.
In the front.
We're here with Bill Samuels from Maker's Mark. Thank you for your time, Bill. Appreciate you coming down and sit with us for a couple hours or an hour and talk to us about your burger. So,
well, I got to go back and report on one of my former students. So
okay.
Everybody will be interested.
Okay.
Less in burger, more about your career.
There you go.
But we will pursue.
Okay.
Maker's is a bit of an anomaly because this was something that my father, I think, really wanted to do all the way from 1933. He had just graduated from the University of Louisville Engineering School, and Roosevelt had just indicated that he was going to push for the repeal of Prohibition, which meant that Kentucky's economy was going to be a huge boost. So right when Dad graduated, my grandfather went off scrambling around trying to find money. This was in the middle of the Depression. And Dad, his job as an engineer was to rebuild the distillery. So when Prohibition ended in early 1934, they would be one of the first ones out of the gates and had the working capital and all to proceed to rebuild the distillery, which they did. As they were rebuilding it, my father had an interesting idea. He approached my grandfather with it, and that was, we've got to rebuild this thing. We've got a chance to make some corrections and improvements in not only the equipment, but in the process of how we make our family whiskey, which we had been doing here in Kentucky longer than any other family. In fact, it was my full great-grandfather that mustered out of the Revolution, came here with the family still in 1784. That's all we got since then.
They're clapping for you, see?
My name is Maria. I'm drinking Maker's 46 from Lubbock. Makes my mouth water.
I had some Maker's 46 last night and I'm having some tonight, and it is absolutely fabulous.
I don't care about anybody. I want to do more That's what happens. I'm always late. I'm never on time, but I'm feeling great. I think I've been down that road before. Opportunities never at my door. I sing them blues to get my way. I won't pay attention to a thing you say. I got my money, I got my wine. One shot short of a good old time. I'm one shot away from feeling okay. I'm just one shot away, and I really don't give a damn what you think. Yeah, yeah. You can keep your job, cause I don't deserve it. And if you're looking for me, hell yeah, I'm drinking bourbon. I'm sitting at the bar with a couple of drunks, and I'll be